It was one of the most important film sessions of the season, and I wrapped it up early. I didn't want us to be late. It was February, and another regular season was coming to an end. A win on Friday most likely would give us home court advantage for the first two rounds in the citywide playoffs. Lose, and we could theoretically play on the road somewhere in Chinatown or the Rockaways, I imagined. 4 o'clock came around, and the team and I grabbed some seats in a classroom. I overheard some complaints on our way up the staircase. There were thoughts and questions. Some said out loud, others in a whisper. "What are we doing? We have a game tomorrow, Coach. This is a teachers' meeting. We don't belong here. We're supposed to get ready for the Archimedes game." Or something along these lines. Walfrey Restitulo, the senior power forward, entered the room and sat down quietly. With his maroon hoodie zipped up and his chin-strap beard a little overgrown, he looked the part of the elder statesman. He had enjoyed a solid senior season, averaging 10 points and almost 9 rebounds a game. As the leader of the team, he sat quietly, expecting the others to follow his example. They did. The previous Tuesday evening, we had scored 115 points, a school record, in a win. It was our 22nd victory of the year. A win on Friday, and we would equal the previous year's win total of 23, another school record. This would be an outstanding accomplishment, but we were still haunted by our 5-point loss in the 2016 Public Schools Athletic League semifinal game to enjoy it. The accomplishment was somehow sullied by the loss to Jane Addams High School that year. We were anxious for the regular season to finish and for the playoffs to start. But first, I wanted the team to attend this teachers' meeting. Mr. Bob Moses entered the room. We, the students and teachers, were seated, or I should say scattered, across the room. Some of us were standing or leaning against the wall. Some were seated alone at a table, while the rest were piled up next to each other like defunct bumper cars. Mr. Moses wore a heather gray pullover and a blue-collared shirt poked out around his neck. He had on dark pants and black shoes. He was bald on top, with snow-white hair above his ears, and what could be the start of a beard on his face. Kate Bellin, the venerated math teacher at Fannie Lou Hamer Freedom High School, introduced Mr. Moses. I knew I was in the presence of greatness when, with a flick of the wrist, Mr. Moses asked if we could arrange the tables so we could all be seated. Quickly, the tables were shoved together to form a shape I have seen only in a game of Tetris. A square in the middle with an L-shaped desk married to another irregular S-shaped tetramino. Mr. Moses was silent as tables, chairs, and people were moved into a more intimate setting. "So, this school is named Fannie Lou Hamer Freedom High School," Mr. Moses began once we were all seated around him. A long pause followed. Then a question. "What's it about?" Mr. Moses had us, the teachers, in rapture, while the team looked nervous. He commanded the room with a whisper. "I knew Mrs. Fannie Lou Hamer." Once he said this, I knew I should have given the boys a quick primer on Bob Moses, but I wanted to surprise them. He had been the leader of the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, also known by its acronym SNCC. He was instrumental in leading the voter registration drive in Mississippi in 1964, also known as Freedom Summer. I also knew that nobody was worried about our film session anymore. At one of the most important moments of the season, it takes a man of Bob Moses's significance for basketball to drift away from our minds. The guys were locked in. "Does anyone know when slavery was outlawed in the United States?" Mr. Moses asked mildly. A few eyes shift to me, the history teacher. Of course, I am thinking 1865, 13th Amendment. Is this a test, I wonder? Before anyone can say anything, he pops another question. "What happened on December 7th, 1941? Charles Davis, a junior power forward, our leading scorer and rebounder, raises his hand. Pearl Harbor! Teachers and his teammates nodded proudly. This was not going to be one of those meetings where you could answer one question and stop paying attention. The gravity of our guest was so powerful that nobody wanted to continue film or even go to the gym. So compelling was Mr. Moses in the first few minutes that Walfrey and Charles started taking notes, and soon so did the whole team. Mr. Moses encouraged everyone, including teachers, to take notes. Class was in session.